let me say this, because you brought it up. I actually want to talk about Wemby and Jokic. I was going to save this for about another week, but you brought it up. It's time. Steph, I never thought I would say this. It's time for Steph to leave. They need to trade Steph. It's time for him to go. This is the point.
This is going to sound like so much hate, and I swear it's not.
Welcome to the Warner Brothas Podcast. My name is Keenan, joined by my brother Kyle. Kyle, post Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas to all. Hope everyone had a great holiday, enjoying the sports world and enjoying friends, family, of course, number one, first and foremost. But how are you?
Much better than I was Christmas Eve, I can tell you that.
The annual sick for Kyle.
Man.
He's not allowed to feel good anymore.
2 years in a row on Christmas Eve into Christmas where I've had food poisoning. I don't know what kind of, I don't know what I did to deserve that 2 years in a row, but.
From two very different places, so it's not like he's eating at the same place every year. So two very different things, so it's just like.
I don't know.
What's the coincidence?
Never experienced anything like that. And unfortunately, that kind of put a big damper on my sports viewing experience yesterday. Mm-hmm. So other than that, Christmas was, Christmas as usual. It was great to be with the family and everything. But yeah, food poisoning made it less than fun. And you know what? Honestly, even on a healthy year, Keenan, it's always hard to focus on the games. Like they're always kind of on in the background. Especially now that you got the NFL NBA split. But I mean, we're going to get into the games here, but total for the NFL games, Keenan, I watched the 2-minute warning for the Chiefs and Broncos. So the very last game, I watched the very last drive for each of the Broncos and the Chiefs, mainly the Chiefs. Because at this time, I think right when I got into the game, it was that fourth down where the Broncos got the Chiefs to jump. I think that was right after or right before the 2-minute warning. And then we were talking during Spurs Thunder. I watched most of that game. I want to say, I think when we were talking, it was like the second quarter. So I caught
we were talking end of the first, beginning second.
Okay, so I watched most of that game. I caught the entire second half, whatever I caught in the first half. Slept entirely through Warriors Thunder, or excuse me, Warriors.
It was a fine game, wasn't anything special. Cooper looked good.
Warriors Mavericks.
Steph played okay, but Steph is, other than legitimately just last season, Steph has been a notoriously bad Christmas player. So the one big moment he plays bad in, typically everything else he's fine, but Christmas is just not good on.
So this is exactly how my sports view. I mean, I just told you what I watch with football, right? So basketball, I told you this yesterday. I'm looking at Knicks Cavs on my phone like entirely through the game, and I keep seeing how it's a close game, it's an entertaining game, but I'm with family, and before I know it, like it's the fourth quarter, and I actually catch it right after the Donovan Mitchell post dunk, which is like I think 90 seconds left in the game. The one thing I vividly remember from the 90 seconds I watched was the Donovan Mitchell 3 late in the game.
That was ridiculous.
I think with like 20 seconds left. So basically saw none of that game. Again, just told you, watch probably 3/4 of Spurs Thunder. None of the Warriors Mavericks game. Woke up at halftime of Lakers Rockets, which is the game I really wanted to see out of all these, right? And
worst out of all of them.
Yeah. And one of those naps where you wake up and you don't know where you are and you're groggy and you feel hungover. Yeah. So I was in no mood to watch that game, right? By the time I really come to, it's time for Nuggets and Timberwolves. And I'm like, I don't want to watch sports. I've missed every game. I'm feeling like shit. I'm like, I'm just going to watch some Netflix and chill, no pun intended. Like, I'm just going to relax. I'm just going to watch Netflix. I'm not going to watch a second of this game. And you know what? I got 2 TVs right here. Normally, I can watch TV and have the game on mute. I didn't even decide to do that, Keenan. So about 1:30 a.m., I'm just scrolling through Twitter, and I see this random-ass account talk about, Jokic had 56, 15, and 15, or 15 and 16, whatever he had. And I'm like, no, he didn't. And then I go check the box score, and he really did. And I'm like, of course that happened.
And Ant had 44, and then that ridiculous 3 in the corner.
Yes, I did see that.
To OT.
I did see that highlight.
Golly. No, that was... I didn't watch. So that's the one game of the day that I didn't fully watch. And it's because I worked at 7 a.m. And not going to lie to the world, I'm not going to say anything about it in case you haven't seen it, but I got locked into Stranger Things. Stranger Things came out at 8 p.m., 3 episodes. I was locked. I was dialed in. And during like the beginning of it, I was kind of half watching Lakers and Rockets and then that, and I was like, this game's a dud. I don't even need to pay attention. I'm locked into Stranger Things. But good day of sports. Again, I've been always worried that the NFL is going to try to overtake the NBA, and that's what they're like on Christmas Day. And I'm like, oh man, last year we had 2 stinkers, 29-10 Chiefs, 31-2 Ravens. This year we had 3 games I couldn't have cared less about. Shout out. I was talking with a friend at work today. His name's JB. Shout out JB. He's actually the guy who pointed out Steve Blake. Shout out to Steve Blake. Steve Blake, a big tournament here in Tennessee. Big tournament goes on here, Arby's Classic every year. And walked into Dick's Sporting Goods, just happened to be Steve Blake. I was like, okay. Shout out to Steve Blake. But he pointed out, he was like, what are the quarterbacks on Christmas Day? We had Dak, Jared Goff, Bo Nix. Fine. Chris Oladukin, Max Brosmer, and Josh Johnson.
Awful.
Yikes.
Awful.
Welcome to Christmas. Instead, we get Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Wemby, Shea, Cooper Flag, Steph Curry, Luka, LeBron, Şengün, KD, and then we get Jokic and Ant. That's a Christmas day. That's Christmas. So I want to talk about the NBA, and then we'll talk the NFL and go into picks. So from what you did see of the NBA, I know we obviously just talked about how you didn't see much or what you caught up on or whatnot. Do you have any thoughts, comments that you wanted to say about the NBA, about Christmas Day, or even the NBA so far this season that kind of can culminate into what we saw for the most part on Christmas?
I do want to talk about 2 players in particular, but before we do that, I kind of want to get your temperature, not to pivot off what you asked me, but I don't know how you feel about this, Keenan, but before the NFL officially like cemented, like, okay, we're going to have games on Christmas, I think it kind of happened to where like the holidays were on the weekend. So they started like just putting games on Christmas or Christmas Eve.
Yeah, because Kamara had his 6 touchdown game, I believe, on Christmas. Like that random, like really good game he had on Christmas.
So I remember when that would happen, I would be like, oh, this is weird. Like the NFL is on. I'd rather watch the NBA. So I didn't really like pay it too much attention. Like I'd have it on, but I wouldn't pay it nearly as much attention. I just thought it was weird overall because, again, it's the NBA holiday. Now that they cemented them, it's cool, but you kind of just said it. The star power that the NBA has, it's more guarantee. And weirdly, and we have this trouble with the Thanksgiving games with the NFL. Like, it's pretty 50-50, but your scheduling's better off. Like, if these holidays were at the beginning of the season, like the first 8 weeks of the season, you'd probably be better off. You do not know what you're getting with the NFL. Whereas the NBA, you can at least bet for stardom. We don't always get classics on Christmas Day, but you at least get good games, bare minimum, on Christmas Day. You're at least going to get highlights on Christmas Day.
There's 5 games, so out of the 5, you can't do 5 NFL slots. It just doesn't work time-wise. Because there's 5 NBA slots, 2 of them at least are marquee. At least 2 of, even if there's like, say there, like I can say it now because it was past. Say Jokic was, unfortunately, he just took the day off just because he didn't want to play on Christmas or something. We at least have other stars that are playing on that day, so we're going to be like, Jokic isn't playing cool. I still got 9 of the 15 to 16 best players playing on this day, so I'm good with it. Yeah. Hard to do in the NFL.
Not only that, it's like the Christmas Day slate looked good originally. You're like, okay, if everyone's healthy, you get the Cowboys and everyone they got versus Jaden Daniels, division rival. Okay, Lions, Vikings, bare minimum. And it's true because we saw it yesterday. The Vikings win. With J.J. McCarthy, that's still a better viewing experience. Like, that ends up being a pretty good game, even though the stakes are just kind of outside chances for the Lions in that game. And then, Chiefs Broncos, everything fell apart with that, dating back 2 weeks ago, obviously. So, in theory, that would have been a great slate. And we talked about on here, Thanksgiving ended up being a great slate. That's one of the better Thanksgiving / Black Friday slates we've had so far. it's funny because you think of it now, you're like, okay, why didn't they just throw the Eagles maybe in that commander spot and make that Cowboys Eagles? Automatically, you kind of are doing better there. So honestly, it's kind of unlucky for the NFL, obviously, but maybe it's just karma. Maybe it's just karma because they're 0 for 2, and the NBA. I want to say hit a home run, but I damn near hit a home run. I mean, you got a really good game in that Knicks Cavs game. You got something brewing here, more than brewing here with Spurs Thunder. And then
Curry on Christmas with Cooper Flag. We got to see Cooper put up over almost 30. I mean, Cooper Flag is fun to watch. The Warriors are always going to be interesting, whether it's drama or fun or whatever. They're always going to be interesting. The Lakers are always going to have drama too, and the Rockets. And then you had the game of the day in Nuggets and Timberwolves.
Yeah, man. You got the NBA did a great job of having stars young and old, past and present on this day. With you had LeBron, Durant, Curry, which it's like seems like we've had them every year for the last 10 years on Christmas, and then you got Cooper Flag, Wemby, SGA, freaking got Luka still, Jokic, obviously, and like you had, like you said, you got pretty much
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, you got all the relevancy minus maybe the Celtics,
Giannis,
right? Giannis, the Celtics,
Giannis
Sixers,
and the Celtics, yeah,
all those guys. You didn't get Maxey, Dame's obviously not in the mix, but I mean, you got all the relevant guys here, pretty much.
Typically, that 12 o'clock slot is set for who are the two best Eastern Conference teams we predict going into the year. That used to be a prime like Boston Celtic versus Knicks spot, or like a
Knicks always get the 12.
Knicks always get the 12, so it'd be like a Celtics.
Knicks got the Detroit Lions spot.
Yeah, like the Knicks always get that 12 o'clock slot, but that was a really good day, and I thought we learned a lot. And I not learned a lot, but a lot kind of came out of it. I was thinking on the way home today. I just want to hear your thoughts on this real quick. And I know, like, before, obviously, you talk about this as like it's probably not gonna, like, we want it to happen just because we'd want to see it. I actually think it might make both teams better right now, and it'd be Draymond and Kaminga for LeBron. I think it makes both teams better. I don't know financially how that works. I think we'd have to probably finagle something else. But the reason being is the Warriors, I know Draymond's a big reason for their defense, but the Warriors are still a good defensive team. They always have been a good defensive team. The problem with them is they can't really generate offense, especially when Steph's off the floor. Jimmy's been good, but he's not great, and they don't have another true playmaker. That's where LeBron comes in, and LeBron can still play probably 90% of the Draymond Green role. I know Draymond's a little bit more just defensive focused, so he's better at it this point in his career. And then the Lakers, they have enough ball creators. They need more athleticism, youth, and they need more defense. And I think you can get that in Kaminga and Draymond. I was thinking about this on the way home. I was like, I actually think before people kind of try to talk it into existence, I think right now it would make sense. Do I think it makes either team contenders, like, oh, they're top flight contenders? I don't, but I do think it gives both teams a better chance to win. What are your thoughts on it?
In theory, you're kind of right. Draymond, it feels like he's taken a dip than years past. Like, he still gets his stats. He still is probably top tier defense, or above average defense, I should say. Maybe not elite, but definitely probably more than what LeBron gives you, right, at this point. The problem here, like the way we've talked about, and we were wildly wrong, but the way we might have been out on Trevor Lawrence as a franchise QB, or maybe the way in the NBA where we've been out on Zion Williamson as a franchise player, I think I'm over Jonathan Kaminga as a trade asset. Like, it lasted for about 4 to 6 weeks at the beginning of the year where Kerr was giving him minutes, he was putting up stats, and then they just shelve him because they don't like him. Kerr clearly does not like him. This has been a yearly thing. I think Kaminga's been in the league for 5 years. It feels like this has been going on for 10 years. So it's hard to say Kaminga would fetch LeBron. And I know Draymond would be the other big asset there, but I just can't imagine what Kaminga actually fetches.
So that's why I thought LeBron was interesting, because for this trade, you're really getting at max 150 games. I mean, that's like a season and a half. Like at max, you're getting that out of LeBron.
Less than that,
And
'cause
like
he's not actually going to play 82. He's probably playing.
So you might get 82 more games out of LeBron, like a full season's worth. And I just think that Kaminga maybe in a different situation with another team in a different role where he gets to come off the bench and kind of like he will, like JJ will do a good job. He has a good offensive mind. We'll put him, I mean, not that Kurt isn't, because obviously, but they run like a complex kind of different style offense rather than a kind of ball control, pick and roll and kind of thing. I think that Kaminga could thrive more in a role like that, and maybe you get not like star potential or anything like that, but like you get a decent player out of him. And if you get a decent player out of him who is young and can match some of the athleticism of some of the younger teams, and then you get Draymond Green for defense in the now, I think it could work. And then I just think LeBron, Steph, in that it's like, hey, if we're going to go all in with old, we might as well go all in for old and just go with it. Because like you're not going to trade all of that to get like a young piece that like can really game change at this point. So it's better like, we got LeBron and Steph. Let's roll the ball. Let's just roll the ball out there and see if we can Olympic this thing to a championship. I don't think it would happen at all, and I'm not saying that it would, but like I'm just saying if you give Steph, LeBron, Jimmy, and like, hey, we're gonna try it once, maybe twice, and we're gonna see what it goes, and if not, we'll go off in the sunset. Like, because at this point, what can the Warriors do? They've mismanaged how they're drafted and how they've trade assets and things like that. So they really have nothing else they can do. I just think this would be a move that would work. And obviously, Draymond is starting to like overstay his welcome in Golden State the way he's acting. So I think that actually could work for all parties involved because the Lakers have been actually a worse team with LeBron on the floor, and Draymond is not the same impact player clearly as he once was. So. Just a thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
thought exercise.
My thing would be, you said Kaminga could be a good player. My thing would be try telling NBA teams that as he's racking up DNP CDs. That's where it gets sticky. That's where it gets sticky because in theory he is a trade asset. Like he does have ability. He does have elite athleticism, but it just has not meshed. And on top of that, they've tried to trade him literally pretty much his entire career and cannot get anything for him. He would have been gone if it was up to Steve Kerr.
This is in 23-24, 16 points on 53% shooting, 5 rebounds a game.
And they hate him. Draymond.
I'm surprised Draymond hasn't something with it.
Draymond.
I don't know.
Draymond surprisingly hasn't Jordan pooled him, and Steve Kerr surprisingly hasn't Jordan pooled in yet. So. That's my thing, and let me tell you this.
That's you're not like wrong. I'm just saying. I just a thought.
Let me say this because you brought it up. I actually wanted to talk about Wemby and Jokic. I was going to save this for about another week, but you brought it up. It's time. Steph. I never thought I would say this. It's time for Steph to leave. They need to trade Steph. It's time for him to go. This is the point. He has. If LeBron has lost a step. Steph's lost a quarter of a step. This dude can still do it. If Steph gets hurt, okay, then you might lose him for 20, 30 games. That's it. This dude is still playing at an unbelievably high level. And here's my thing.
Clearly a top 7 player in the league. Like he's still like he's averaging 28.5, 29 a game still.
Here's my thing, Keenan.
30 minutes.
And this is true. This is true, and this would happen anyway because Steph is Steph, right? If you go back and look pre-Durant, right, 2015, 2016, the formative years of Curry and those championship years, of course.
Yeah.
You look at him, he's getting way more open shots than he ever would today. Part of that is because he is so dangerous, and, the scouting report is like basically pick him up from 40 feet. That, of course, he's not going to get the shots he got 8 years ago. But this is where the Warriors come in. There has not been a scoring threat since KD was there, since Clay was healthy when KD was there. Clay obviously goes through those 2 career-changing injuries, and then Clay was never the same. And then what? It was Jordan Poole, who was basically like a 6-man type of heat check guy. There has not been a true offensive threat since 2019. That is now 7 seasons we're going on here without Steph really having a guy to just lean on.
Their best offensive threat has been 1 year all-star starter Andrew Wiggins, who averaged like 20. That's been like their
And that was off
like best
cuts. That was off cuts that he's making.
No, you're right. Like
Jordan Poole's
there was
probably
possessions where he had a nice step back jumper and he would hit threes and things like that. He could get hot. Like any play, like Andrew Wiggins' first overall pick, he's talented, but it's not.
And
it's
Keenan.
not like, oh, Jokic has Jamal Murray.
Right.
Like Luke has Austin Reeves. Oh, Jason Tatum has Jaylen Brown. It's nothing like that. I get it, Wiggins is good, but it's nothing like that. Wiggins is a great third option. If that's your third best player, we're good. If that's your second best player, and Steph winning in 22, like that makes it more. I understand that the circumstances were obviously a little bit different. Like obviously Nuggets had injuries in the first round, but overall that's 22 championships still impressive from Steph. Like
that
was a great run for him. And Jordan Poole was good at that time.
If you're right, it's impressive, but stuff fell for them. Like people weren't talking about the Warriors like this team could win it. Watch out for them. It kind of fell for them, and they took advantage of it, being the veteran championship team that they are. Look, I've heard Bill Simmons float out on his podcast maybe Kaminga for Michael Porter Jr. Okay, that gives you scoring and spacing. Great. If that happens, cool. Keep Steph around, whatever. My other thing would be maybe wait until the summer, and if Giannis gives you any inkling that he wants to go there, and there's anything at all that you could actually convince the Bucks to take back, then of course Giannis and Steph, boom. But if not,
every single player on our team not named Steph Curry is up for grabs.
Yeah.
Just ask for him.
Yeah,
and picks, every pick you want.
And if not, Keenan, and this is why Keenan, I had such a problem during the player movement era with LeBron and KD and James Harden. This is when Steph should ask. This is when all options are exhausted and it clearly isn't working out from the front office perspective, then yes, ask for a trade. LeBron was coming off finals when he's asking for, or when he's leaving for free agency. James Harden's coming off conference finals trips when he's asking for a trade. KD, a Warriors dynasty potentially when he's leaving for free agency. I think
they would have 5, right? Like, golly, like they would still be like
look at the situations Harden, Durant, and LeBron would tell you that like they just couldn't do it with, and then look what Steph's dealing with right now. That's my whole thing. Like and I don't want to do this whole thing, but truly pre-decision, Keenan, this is when KG in Minnesota, even Dame before he got traded to the Bucks, where it's like, all right, bro, like now's the time. Steph is still playing at a high level. Golden State very, very, very clearly, we've had the whole decade to see they cannot put it around him. He will never ask. He would never directly ask. But if there was ever a time, now's the time, because, man, we have lost 6 great years. We'll say 5, because I think that 2020 season he got injured, right?
Yeah, so 9, obviously 18, 19.
We'll say 4 because they won the ring in 22. So they wasted 4 seasons legitimately of Steph Curry.
Since 18, 19, when Clay tears the Achilles the ACL, and Kevin Durant the Achilles. Next year, Steph breaks the wrist. Year after that, 21, they are the 8th seed, and then they ended up losing in the play-in to the Grizzlies after losing to the Lakers. It was the first year of the play-in. We got Lakers-Warriors. Next year, win the championship. Next year, get to the second round, lose to the Lakers in 6. Next year, losing the play-in. Next year, which is last year, they lose to the Timberwolves in the second round, and then, yeah. So they've gotten to the second round twice, the play-in twice, and obviously one championship, which overall, cool, fine. They've won 2 playoff, outside of that championship year, they've won 2 playoff series in 4 years with Steph playing high-level basketball.
Like, and I'm not going to give the Warriors any credit. The only thing I would say about
drafted LaMelo. I'm telling you right now, instead of James Wiseman. I said that the day, and I understand that wouldn't have been the end-all, be-all, but I'm telling you what, right now, they would be getting more use out of LaMelo than James Wiseman.
Technically
That's all I'm going to say.
Technically so.
That's all I'm going to say. They'd be getting more, and they could have at least used that as a trade asset, because LaMelo would have put up numbers.
No, it's true.
And then
you
could have been like, okay, cool, we have a guy who's putting up 20.6 rebounds, 7 assists. Let's trade him off and get some assets for him. They at least could have used that and not have him just rot on a roster. Like, I mean, James Wiseman.
What's crazy is apparently Golden State liked Franz. I think Franz was in that draft and they wanted it and they took James Wiseman. In the weirdest draft ever. I mean, the COVID drafts, and Keenan, I might have mentioned this to you once. We don't actually have to get into this, but look at the WNBA COVID draft. I don't think like any of those players in the top 10 are playing.
No, and the NFL COVID drafts, I think, was a really weird.
And actually, me and Brandon Petty have looked at this. The latter part of the first round is like riddled with quality players, like 20 through 30, or even like 50. It's like all kinds of either starters, high level role players. Like it's a very quality draft at the back end of the first round, or mid to back end first round. I think Bane was in there. We mentioned there's a ton of players. Jaden McDaniels. It's just a ton of players. But I was gonna say about Steph. Last couple years, you have seen some slippage from him. Like the last 2 years in particular, like there'd be nights where he'd just have like 3 of 12 from 3 type shooting, like rough shooting nights. And again, part of that is the offensive weapons around him. This year, though, I mean, he is truly carrying this team and, looking like the 2016 through 2019 version of himself. And the Warriors, if he makes 12 threes and you're losing a game, what's that tell you? That's a guaranteed win in the past with the Warriors. They just don't got it. So trade Steph this summer if you can't get anything. Trade Draymond, let Steve Kerr retire, and start over. Because if not, otherwise it's just a circus. You're just throwing Steph out there like a friggin' circus clown. Like, oh, look at these 3-pointers. We're going to win 40 games, go to the play-in. Like, that's bullshit, bro. Like, he is way too great.
So now I got to ask, before we didn't even talk really about anything else. Where do you want to move? I have to ask at this point.
No idea, because there's no, ideally, on any cool team, right? But it's so hard to say because like the trade restrictions, who knows? He could maybe only play in friggin' Detroit for all we know. I would want just
him and Cade in the backcourt would just be nasty.
Give me Steph somewhere. Give me Steph somewhere where he is. He's got other offensive weapons. Like, just give me somewhere where he has a chance to compete, has a chance to win, because he is way too great to be playing on play-in teams year in, year out. And there was, like I said, the last 2 years, you could actually make the case where you're like, okay, maybe you can't. Maybe Steph is just not like carrying a team worthy, right? Like maybe he can't just get you to a home playoff seed. Maybe he can't get you to top 4. Like I think that was reasonable the last 2 years where he was at least kind of inconsistent with his 3-point shooting. Not percentage wise, but there'd be games where he might go from 5 of 10 to, again, like 3 of 12, 3 of 14 from 3. It would just get spotty. This year, again, he's carrying. Like I think if you do put him on Detroit, on the Knicks, like swap him from Brunson, Keenan, what's that look like? And I keep throwing Brunson into these fake ass trades, so Knicks fans are gonna probably hate me. But like hypothetically, like just put Steph in the Brunson spot, put Steph in the Darius Garland spot, put Steph in Dallas, put Steph in Denver. If they traded him for Jamal Murray, that would never happen. But can you imagine Jokic and Steph? Can you imagine Steph in Minnesota?
Listen, if I'm not gonna lie, I understand Jamal Murray is great, and I understand it.
Steph and Jokic.
If you could call me right now and just say Jamal Murray for Steph Curry, send it. Can I? I'm gonna call Adam Silver now. I don't care if it's 3 years of Steph. Send it. He is still a top 7. He's a clear-cut top 10 player in the league now.
San Antonio.
I'm going to get at least 3. Golly, you'd have to trade so much for him, but my God. Stephen Wemby would shut the league down. And you're like, oh, you see what they're doing now with the defense that they have? And then you're like, oh, wait. We have the shooter from 40. We still got to worry about that in our ball control. And the ball doesn't stick with him. So it's like, what are we going to do? No,
And then, of course, we say all this, Keenan. We've said this. I mean, OKC is literally constructed to where they can just buy a player if they wanted to. Like, give me that. They could literally do that. They could go get Giannis tomorrow if they wanted to. They could get Steph Curry if they wanted to. They could hypothetically go get Luka if they wanted to. Like, they've got the assets to get any single player they want. So, I mean, imagine Steph throwing him on this team that we were talking about getting 74 wins, 2 weeks ago.
That actually, if I'm the Thunder, I might be like, wait a second. I understand we're built on like athleticism and everything, but like AJ Mitchell, the Clippers pick, which is like a top 5 pick, easy in a really good draft. AJ Mitchell, that, and then a couple other things in there. Hey, Steph, come over here. let's dance. San Antonio's beat us 3 times in 12 days. Let them. You know who actually beat them back-to-back times? It was you. When you put up 96 points in 2 games against them. You come over here. Help us with our San Antonio problem.
This version of Steph should be playing in playoff games, man. That's it. Like, he should be playing in high-level playoff games. We should have had at least 4 to 5 more like bona fide Steph Curry playoff moments. And at this rate, Keenan, we're not going to get any more. And if they are, they're just going to be in the play-in of the first round.
I was really upset last year when he hurt his hamstring because I thought that we might get at least one.
That would have been a good series. That would have, and you know what? Maybe because I would say this regular season feels different than ones of past, but this decade, the regular season truly feels like it doesn't matter. It has no correlation towards the playoffs. For example, here's why I love this season, Keenan. Here's why I love some of the youth in this league. Spurs and Thunder, notwithstanding, like that actually, we can correlate what's going on with the Spurs and Thunder to what would go on in the playoffs. SGA said as much. SGA said yesterday, hey, the team beats us that many times in a short span. They're a better team than us. I love hearing that from SGA.
It's true. I mean, right now they beat them. They said, hey, let's play at a neutral site, your home, my home, and let's see where we go. And Spurs beat them in all 3. You can't even just say like, oh, they had all home games. We said, no, we'll go to your home on Christmas. Couple days before Christmas, you come to our home, and we'll play at a neutral site where it's
and we got our best player coming off the bench.
Best players only play averaging 20 minutes a game over this stretch. So like,
so I mean, to revert that back to Steph, if you can roll into the playoffs as a 6 seed, or maybe as you get in as a play-in, you get a favorable matchup, cool. And maybe you guys get another trade. Talking about the Warriors, they get another trade. Maybe you get an impact guy. Sure, I don't know. I think you'll hear more of this as the season goes on. If Steph keeps playing this way, doesn't get injured, and they're just out again in the play-in or out again in the first round, I think this kind of talk's going to heat up.
I know you're talking the Jalen Brunson side of it, and I understand that this might not be like the most perfect thing in the world. I might talk the other side of it with Cat. I like the way the Knicks play when Cat is not in and Mitchell Robinson is in. Like, I just love his tenacity and his tenacious on the boards and like defensively and things. Cat in a trade for Curry and having a Brunson Curry backcourt. I get it small and defensively. No, I get it small. I guess I just think the finals are the part that's tough because I think you get to the final. You can. I'm not that you would instantly, but I think that you easily can get to the finals of that. I think the finals is tough, but again, in one series, that's tough. But I understand. I understand also too. I understand too that it's Brunson and Curry, and I know that it would make more sense to trade Curry and then have Brunson come to.
I mean,
Golden State.
I would just say the threat of Cat as a stretch 5 with Curry, and on top of that, I definitely like Mitchell Robinson as the junkyard dog on that team. But when New York's got their 5, and you saw that against the Spurs in the play-in, or excuse me, in the in-season tournament, NBA Cup. And you've seen it with the Knicks by and large when they got their 5, when it's Jalen with OG, with Josh Hart, with Cat, with who did I say? Who did I miss? Brunson? Who the fuck I missed?
There's Brunson, Bridges, OG,
Bridges.
Cat.
That's what I'm missing. Bridges.
Yeah.
When they got their 5, their starting 5, and of course along with Mitchell Robinson, that's as safe as a bet as you can get in the East. So I love that 5 together. And again, with combination with Mitch. But I don't know.
I want Steph right now in the Eastern Conference this year because now that you're talking about it, I want the more days go on, the older he gets, and the more time, the less time we're gonna have him in pivotal moments. And I know we spend a lot of time here on Steph, but he obviously deserves it.
Boston, go get him.
I guess
Boston's in prime position. Go get him. Go off.
I know that's the only thing, but they'd have to. You wouldn't want to get up Brown or Tatum. Obviously,
give up Pritchard, give up Derek White, give up Hugo, some of these other young dudes. I mean, I don't know. I'm spitballing here because who the fuck knows with. I don't even know the trade restrictions. I'd have to get I'd have to get a trade machine on the side. But
Bill Simmons was talking about like the Cavs trying to make trades and like they can't make trades at all right now. But if they could, a Garland, Jared Allen package for Steph
makes sense.
Donovan Mitchell and Steph in the backcourt. I mean, Steph was born in Cleveland.
It's true. It's true. Same hospital as LeBron, weirdly enough.
Same hospital as LeBron. It's an all-time great hospital.
They literally breed greatness over there in Akron, apparently.
But
let's quickly, before we get to the NFL, let's talk. Yeah. Let's go, because we've talked about it more. Let's talk about Spurs Thunder. And really just the atmosphere it brings. Because I don't know if it's NBC, Keenan, like the reintroduction of NBC and Amazon, but like this season just has a different feel to it. I don't know if it's just these young guys in general, the post-decision era of the NBA, but these guys are dogs. And, man, does San Antonio match up well with OKC?
I think it's a little bit of Wemby, too. Wemby has not been afraid to say throughout his entire career when he doesn't like somebody or when he doesn't like. When like one of the ones that always sticks with me is when he was talking about, was like coming into the league, I was like so eager to learn from a lot of these guys, and I saw the way these guys worked out, and I was like, really, that's it?
Yep.
I was like, wait a second, and he said this as a rookie coming in, and I was like, man, he is not afraid to say anything. And you're right, this season has a different feel to it, and this feels like kind of the Thunder feel like the 16 Warriors, where they're a super great, obviously we've been making comparisons to them, but a super great team, a phenomenal team, but you feel like they're unbeatable, but they're not unbeatable, if that makes sense. They play such good team basketball, and Shea is so good, like Steph was so good, it feels like they're unbeatable, but genuinely they don't, it's not the KD Steph Warriors where it was like, this team just has too much talent, we're not beating them. And we knew that it was a conclusion. This team was like, wait, but that Thunder team has that Thunder team has Durant, Westbrook, Ibaka, Reggie Jackson, and they have more talent. That's going to be, they're something to watch out for. And that's what the Spurs team feels like. It's like, wait, that's a number 2 pick in Dylan Harper. That's an all-star All-NBA guard in Fox. That's a guy who's a future all-star and maybe a future All-NBA guard in Castle. That's Wemby. Like that might be is that a more talented team than the Thunder? And then it's like they play. It's like, oh, maybe they are better than the Thunder. So like, I think them alone's gonna do it. And then obviously we're like, wait, is that Jokic guy putting up 56-point triple doubles? And then Ant has been playing great, putting up 44, and the Rockets are there. So like, these playoffs, I understand. We thought that the Thunder early on were just gonna run through these playoffs are going to be special. Then you're going to have people like LeBron and hopefully Steph in these, like, hopefully they're all healthy, where it's like, I don't think they can win it all, but for a round 1 matchup, this is going to be a tough, fun matchup to watch.
Yeah.
And then I just think it's going to, those are going to be fun.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think since day one, I've kind of thought like, as dominant as the Thunder can be in the regular season, it was going to be no cakewalk for them in the postseason. Between the three of, and especially the 2 Rockets and the Thunder, or excuse me, the Rockets and the
Nuggets.
Yes, sorry, my mind's scrambling. The food poisoning's got me. But now you got to throw the Spurs in there, and we were saying that after week 1 when Wemby was like clearly making a point to like just show off all his talents those first couple weeks. But now you have to absolutely include the Spurs into that discussion. I mean, there's absolutely 3 teams, I believe, that could beat the Thunder, which has some correlation to that 2016 season because, the Thunder ended up getting up 3-1 on the Warriors, but the team we all thought was going to match up with them that year was the Spurs, who won 69 games that year. They were right on the heels of the Warriors. They were an all-time great team that entire year, had a great Kawhi season, and then Westbrook and Durant beat them in 6, which we were not expecting. Spurs actually got LaMarcus Aldridge that year, and just a very well-rounded team. And, Cavs kind of had an easier path coming out of the East. Looks kind of similar to the Knicks right now. Knicks look like they got a easier path coming out of the East, but the West looks like a gauntlet all around. Yeah, man. I mean, the Thunder, I think we can all agree they'll still probably be in the conference finals, but it's not going to be easy.
Matchup dependent, because like, what if the Spurs do fall to a 4th seed and they see the Spurs in the 2nd? Or this with the Spurs there, the Rockets do pose a similar style matchup where you've got just length, athleticism, and just defensive.
They can clamp.
The only difference of why the Spurs, I think, match up better with the Thunder is just that they have more ball creators, that like offensive creators. Not that the Rockets don't, but like because like Amen Thompson's good.
I completely agree with you, Keenan. Like, I think what actually puts the Spurs over the top in this conversation, and why I was kind of over people trying to trade De'Aaron Fox. Like De'Aaron Fox kind of makes this matchup. The Thunder. What separates the Thunder from any one of these teams, and I love the Rockets defense. But the Thunder, when they just want to just clamp you up, like they get physical on the perimeter before you even get your shot up. Whereas the Rockets, they're going to bother your 3-point shot. The Thunder, you're not even going to get the 3-point shot up because you got Caruso. I'm going to be nice here, but he's kind of fouling out there on the perimeter with Wallace and all these guys. They're kind of getting physical on the perimeter. Why am I forgetting? Oh, Dort's the other one. They like kind of play hockey out there too. Like you can't even get shots up because you're getting bodied 35 feet away from the basket. Fox will dribble past these guys without any hesitation. Doesn't matter how physical you're being. He can just get right into the teeth of your defense. You've got that along with shooters, along with Wemby. And he was, like we've said, Wemby's only been playing 20 minutes in these games. Yeah, no, Fox is the X factor with these. And then Dylan Harper, he's just coming in free, just, all right, you want me to spot up? Cool, I can do that. You want me to take him off the dribble? Cool, I can do that against the 4th best defender. You know what I mean? So
and the thing with Dylan Harper too is he's just another twitchy athlete, so like he can play defense well as well. Like you can just throw him out there for the good thing. The thing that Mitch Johnson does that I like is he rotates them in 6-minute increments. It's like you're going to play break nose pace pretty much for 6 minutes. And then we're going to get another really good ball handling guard in the game for 6 minutes. Like you just never have a moment where Castle, Fox, or Harper's not on the floor. So you always have a creator, maybe not elite for Harper yet, but like a high level creator for 48 minutes. And then obviously, okay, you have Wemby, who is just such a great rim protector over, and then you have Cornette coming off the bench. So between those two, it's like, okay, you're never going to have a 48-minute stretch where we don't have good rim protection. And then from there, if you have Vassell shooting the way he's been shooting, Barnes shooting the way he's been shooting, Keldon off the bench shooting the way he's been shooting, it's like, okay, so we have shooters too. It's just, there's just the rotation of how the Spurs play makes it so incredibly difficult. And once Wemby's obviously even more healthy, like this team's there's just a lot there. And they're ahead of schedule right now. Obviously, we don't know how the playoffs are going to go, and maybe they lose a tough 7-game series in the first round, because could happen, of course.
They look legit.
But this team looks the part. They look the part right now, and
they got Luke Cornett and a Shiesty over there too for Christmas. Yeah. They got him a Shiesty and a Chrome Hearts robe.
You know, like there's depth, it's talent, there's a lot there, and then in the playoffs, as we know, it doesn't always come down to this, but you do need that superstar who can get the things done. And they have that alien, and then Fox is legitimately a guy who can go get a bucket when necessary. And Castle is turning into a guy who is like, oh man, Castle's looking really, really good. And that's the thing, like the Thunder are not used to having a team that can overmatch them with speed, athleticism, and talent on the perimeter. That's why they've been able to beat teams, and that's why the Pacers gave them such a tough run. It might have not been as like tenacious athletically, but like with Nembhard, Nesmith, and Halliburton last year, it made it tough because it was 3 guys who can all do things offensively. And so like it actually gave them a tough time in the finals. That's why the series did go 7. But hey, we'll see. We'll see how the NBA season goes on. It was fun.
And those 4 just themselves, those 4 are going to be amazing. Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets, and Rockets. But
And I hope the Cavs continue to play like they did yesterday because they've been a little lackluster.
Yeah.
So I hope they do that, and I hope the Magic can get healthy. I don't know how how healthy they're gonna get, but the healthy Magic would make the Eastern Conference fun.
Yeah, Cavs got to pick it up. Cavs have, needless to say, underwhelmed. But
I hope, and I honestly, for the sake of this conversation, I hope the Sixers can really stay like Embiid can stay healthy, because they are just gonna be the way Tyrese Maxey's playing right now. Like, he's playing top 10 basketball level. VJ Edgecombe's looked really good. McCain, Paul George, Embiid, if they're all healthy,
they're quietly keeping it steady.
Yes, if they're all healthy, they're going to be scary. And word keeps coming.
Tatum's coming
Jason
back.
Tatum,
He's coming back.
March.
I would say before March.
It might, will he be back before the All-Star break is a question mark. And the fact that that's a question mark is scary, because that means he's going to get 15 games at least, at minimum, to where he can start to find his footing. And the Celtics team has been playing very good basketball.
Look,
and they might.
The Celtics.
If Jaylen Brown can be the number 1 and Tatum the 2 for this playoff series, just because obviously he's coming off of an injury, and Brown's looking like he can be a 1 right now.
Big props to Jaylen Brown.
And then you with Pritchard, with Derek White.
That was one of my biggest questions coming into the season, was how would Jaylen Brown handle that number 1 spot? Like, could he handle it? And he's
fine.
He's not only taken the leap, he's carried them, especially this last month, I would say.
Oh my gosh.
Propelled them even. And then as far as Tatum and the Celtics go, they have been teasing videos of Tatum working out since the offseason. And the Celtics on their Twitter, they will every night tweet out on the injury report, Jason Tatum out, Achilles. Like, they're waiting for the day to tweet questionable. Celtics they've been teasing
or doubtful even.
Yeah, exactly.
Even doubtful.
Celtics have been telling you every bit of their intention of Jason Tatum. He's not sitting out this year at all. We will for sure see him before the playoffs. They've been teasing how this was apparently some sort of new age Achilles surgery repair. Same as who the hell just tore their Achilles in the NFL?
Rodgers.
No, this year. A couple weeks ago. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. Like, they're so dead set on him being back for training camp. He's apparently getting the same sort of operation Tatum got. So
hopefully it works, and hopefully it's not like
we'll see.
Of those things where, let's hope, because if that's the case, listen, the Celtics might mess around and get to a finals this year, and legitimately anything is possible. Because what if they, just out of the sake of conversation, what if they do see a young, haven't been there Spurs team? Could look kind of like 22, when you had this young, great Celtics team playing against a veteran Warriors team, and the veteran Warriors team just outvetted them in the final. Like, things like that could happen, obviously. So it's going to be really interesting to see. The Eastern Conference, if health stays on the side of which we want it, the Eastern Conference could be really, really interesting, because you could then legitimately have, to me, 4 teams that could really make a push for
it. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, the East looks much like we've seen this decade, where it's like you don't really know if you get to playoffs.
Sorry, I'll say 5. I'll say 5 with the Sixers kind of being the floating 5, but like the Cavs, if they can right the ship, the Celtics the next, and I'll give the Pistons that. They've looked really
Pistons
good this
absolutely
season. They deserve it.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. The West has been amazing. This season's just been a lot of fun. And then real quick before we get to the NFL picks, Jokic.
That's it.
This sicko. I mean, I've been saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. Might be as good at this sport as anyone that's ever played the game. I don't think
there's not obviously the defense. The thing would be defense, but offensively, there's never been a better player. I'm not saying he's the best, but there's never been a better one. You can say maybe Mike is as good, or Peak Braun is as good, or whatever. There's never been someone who I can say is much better than that. Not a better player offensively than that guy.
If he gets another MVP and he gets another ring, it's going to be some uncomfortable conversations about people's favorite players that are, in that
Kareem,
top
I was
20
to say,
range.
just saying, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq, Hakeem, Moses Malone. Those are your like top 6 centers of all time.
Jokic is in there.
He's already
in that
He's
top
already. I was gonna
6.
say. I'm saying before. I didn't want to put his name there. Like what's the difference between him and Moses Malone right now? 1 championship, 3 MVPs, best offensive rebounder we've ever seen, best offensive player we've arguably ever seen. Like, and he's looking at Hakeem, he's looking at Shaq, and like, hey guys, you guys might need to move left because I'm about to, like, you guys might need to move left because I'm right here. And that means, hey, my Steph, Kevin Durant, hey, you guys, I'm sorry. Like, I know I like horses, but come on now. Like, I'm really good at this
I don't even
sport.
want to be
Why?
that guy because I hate the friggin' internet discourse on this type of shit, but you could make a valid argument. He's far and beyond Durant already. A valid argument.
Kyle, to me,
the
he's better
MVPs.
than Durant all time.
And
to me, he's better than Durant.
The way you put that was correct, all time. Like, player for player, Durant is probably, every bit as good as Jokic. Jokic do a little more offensively, but Durant, just talent-wise, like, yeah, he's probably as dangerous as a weapon as Jokic.
Oh, 100%.
All time, though, resume, when you add the MVPs on top of it, and again, how Durant got his rings, yeah, you got to...
Durant's a 2-time champion, but joined a 73-win team to do so. His second best player was Steph Curry. He had multiple All-Stars. As of right now, Jokic has never played with an All-Star and has had a championship. Jamal Murray most likely will be an All-Star this year for the first time, so shout out to Jamal Murray for that, deservingly so. But as of right now, Jokic has never played with an All-Star, has won a championship, won 3 MVPs. KD only has 1 MVP. Like, he's past Kevin Durant.
And could legitimately have 4 by the end of this year, and would have he's going to have an argument for, like...
Thank the Spurs for Jokic getting it, because, like, the only way he wasn't getting an MVP is if this Thunder won 70-plus games and Shea stayed on the super efficiency. But 70 games right now is 70 games because they don't lose 7 more times for the remainder of the season, and they have the toughest remaining schedule based off like strength of schedule for here. So that's going to be extremely difficult. So Jokic needs to write a little, hey, thank you for my 4th MVP and send it over to the San Antonio Spurs. Like, hey, I appreciate it, because if it's not Shea going away, it will be Jokic. And I'd almost be, if the Thunder don't win 72 plus, and it might be a unanimous.
By the way, you
in my personal opinion.
Same thing you just said, Keenan, could have been made for the argument last year.
Thunder
lose 100%. Maybe 2 less games. Jokic was far and away the best player last year. So
yeah, it was that Bird season after his 3-peat where his best season was there. But then at that point, it was like, oh, that 86-87 Lakers team, that was just an all-timer. It's like, okay, Magic, go get yourself one.
My guy Jokic got a cut after the game last night. He got shaped up after the game before his post-game press conference. Gotta love Jokic.
Golly, he is fun.
He's the best. He's the best right now.
Yeah, no, he easily is the best right now. He's got a reign over being the best player, and it's crazy because next is maybe Wemby, but we'll see when that happens. Jokic might hold that thing for 3 more years because of how good he is.
That's the thing. When Wemby takes it, it's gonna be like sword to the chest type shit when he does it to Jokic, because it's gonna happen where they're gonna face each other in the playoffs, and it's like Jokic will do everything he can, but Wemby's gonna average something like 40 and 18 and 6 blocks and 4 assists.
27, 17, 5, 4, and 5.
It's gonna happen. It's
gonna be just insane.
And it could be this year. It really could be this year. It'll likely be next year or the year after, but it could be this year.
Yeah, it could be this year. I really hope. I can't wait for these playoffs. Like, we're about to get into a dog dead time of the NBA for a little bit of time, which I'm going to be unfortunate.
Well, this could be, we could be in the pool season for tournament number 2 that leads into All-Star weekend. We've got to map this out, Keenan, for the people eventually. We've been teasing it, but we eventually got to map it out.
We'll map it up before the All-Star break. But I think we can get through these picks in like 20 minutes and just call it.
I like it.
Right,
and
so
we can talk a little.
out.
We can talk a little more about the games on that.
Yeah.
Too. All right,
for sure.
I'll close it out.
Yep.
All right, Keen. Let's close this out. Let's make this a part 1. We'll do picks in part 2. Give you a little hour episode here, and then maybe we can get under an hour on the next one. So you got NBA talk, you got Christmas Day talk, you got Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, Wemby legacy talk, Thunder legacy talk. You got a bunch of shit on this NBA one. But we'll be back for part 2. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. You know where to find us. We'll be right back.